and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Leslie, and today I have another card where I will be using the quarterly release from Not Too Shabby, the Denim Coffee. I love this paper so much. It is right up my alley, and we are going to be using a stencil from Tim Holtz that definitely has the coffee splatter look that I want to go for. We have the sentiment dies from Teresa. This is the brew-ti-ful sentiments, and of course her one and done die, and this is the card that I made in the earlier video, so if you haven't seen that, it'll be down in the description box below. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to start off by ink blending the stencil here. I'm using Simon Says Stamp's Positively Saturated ink in both the allspice and the paprika because I wanted that kind of reddish brown tones that is also in the pattern paper. I wanted that to be in this pattern paper that I'm creating here. I'm going to start with the allspice, and then I'll bring in the paprika more towards the top going down. I did finally find my sticky mat here from Wallflower. It took me a while to find it. If you've been watching any of my lives, you saw that I was struggling because I wanted to use it for some alcohol inking that I was doing, and I could not for the life of me find it. So I did finally find it. And if you're missing out on those live streams, they are weekly, and you get a look of behind the scenes what goes into prepping cards, sometimes things like this where I'm stenciling backgrounds, that kind of thing. Definitely be checking it out. It will be Thursdays from now on. We've had to change up our Wednesday night to Thursday, so I did use a little bit of ink blending around the edges just so it wasn't very stark white, and then I got that off my sticky mat here. So I'm just bringing in some blue cardstock from my stash. I already cut out a square from it. You'll see that a little bit later on. I'm always hoarding my paper, and so if I'm able to cut out shapes from inside my mats, I do it. And then I'm going to bring in that coffee stain paper that we just created. Now that mat is of course 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're making a normal A2 card. And then I did cut the coffee paper down to 4 by 5 1/4. So there's just a thin matte layer. And then of course you see the square there that I had cut out earlier. I did cut out a 2 1/2 square of that coffee bean pattern paper, and then I did a 2 3/4 matte square there, and then I did an inch by 5 1/4 strip of that pattern paper, and then an 1.25 inches by 5 1/4 of the blue paper, because I just want it mostly to be on the right side of that. You'll see a little bit of the border from the other mat, and then that thicker layer just to have a good definition in between that pattern paper and the pattern paper that I created. And I am still apologizing for my voice, or if you're hearing me sniffle. School has started and my oldest is in kindergarten, and she brought home a cold that has been making its way through my family. So mom has it now, so we're struggling in these voiceovers, but I want to get these videos up here. So I am bringing in some die strips that I created in my first video. I had extra left over because I decided to use a different color scheme, and so we're going to be using these in this one. I did bump up that square with some foam tape, and then I just kind of layering these banners so that they're just peeking out. I did rip it in half because, again, I'm a hoarder of paper, and I'm going to use what I can as much as I can. I am going to cut off that very end so that it's not going over the left side. I do want it to come straight across. And then you notice how the banners kind of line up at an angle. So we have our shortest, our middle, and then our longest there. Coming from our square. And then I did put a little bit of foam tape on the very right hand side since it goes off of the square there. I want to keep everything even layered. And my goal with the cards that I'm showing this quarter with these papers is to show you different ways that you can use that one and done die that comes in coordination with these sentiments, because sometimes it's fun to have a bunch of banners. And I want to show you how you can use a bunch of banners for the designs of your cards. So if you didn't see that first video, go ahead and check it out as well for some inspiration. You'll see this video as well, and then there's going to be a third video coming soon that will also show you how to use these dies as part of your design. So I am using the sentiment Rise, Shine, and Sip. I think that's sweet. And then, of course, I love making little scenes with my ephemera. I do not hoard ephemera the way I do pattern paper. I like to use as many as I can. That makes sense. So we're just going to create a little coffee scene here. I am going to bump up these with some foam tape, and they're going to slightly overlap that square. So we're just going to put a line of foam tape underneath it, and then we're going to use some liquid glue to set up our little scene. So we have a little kind of window and table and some comfy pillows like you're having breakfast. We're going to cover partial of that with the coffee cup, but we got to bring in some florals because I love florals, and why not? We're going to bump up some of that floral with some foam tape that just fell off of the other layer of foam tape. And then we're just going to glue the coffee here with its lovely little heart design in the creamer. I want to learn how to do that. You might know how to do that. Let me know in the comments if you do. We're just going to put that one down in the middle. So then we're going to bring in the dark blue enamel dots that are the Denim Coffee. They're the matching ones that go with this quarterly release. We're going to put 2 in the bottom right hand corner, and then we're going to end up putting 3 in the bottom right hand corner. There we go. And we're doing 2 in the left hand corner next to the Rise, Shine, and Sip, just so your eye really follows where the sentiment is and where the scene is. Just kind of figure out where I want that blue. I decided to do more accents of blue since I do have a lot of brown on this card. So, and then I was thinking to bring in the little leftover scrap banner. I was thinking about putting it on the card front, but I just felt like that was going to cover too much of my coffee stained paper. So I did decide to decorate a little bit on the inside of this card. We're just going to use a little bit of liquid glue on that scrap paper that we created a little banner with, and that's going to be the inside of my card. You got to decorate the inside. I always forget, and it's such a great way to use up any kind of scraps that you may have that are maybe too small to actually just keep on hand. So this is my card for today. If you like it, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit subscribe. Definitely check out this quarterly release and all the releases going on at Not Too Shabby right now. Everything's down in the description box below. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye!